The sun had barely begun to set as Michael sat in the plush office chair, his fingers gripping the pen so tightly that his knuckles were white. He stared at the document in front of him, his mind a whirlwind of confusion, anger, and uncertainty. "Sign it," her voice echoed in his head. "It's just a formality." But Michael knew this wasn't just a formality. This was something that would define his future. And yet, his heart was pounding with a question he couldn't escape. Why did she want him to sign this so badly? Michael's life had never been simple. Growing up in a small, tight-knit community, he'd always faced more challenges than most. But when he met Lily, everything seemed to change. She was smart, compassionate, and beautiful, the kind of woman who could light up any room she walked into. Their love was a dream until reality hit in the form of her mother. Lily's mom, Margaret, was complicated. She had always been skeptical of Michael, casting doubt on his worthiness for her daughter, largely because of his background. He wasn't from money. He didn't have the privileges that so many others took for granted. But Lily had seen past all of that. She loved him for who he was. Yet today, as Michael sat in the grand cold office of Lily's mother's lawyer, his life felt like it was slipping through his fingers. The prenup was already drafted, the terms clear. If anything went wrong, if they ever divorced, he would walk away with nothing. "It's just to protect Lily's inheritance," Margaret had insisted, her eyes colder than the marble floors. Beneath Michael's feet, can you imagine the weight of that moment? The woman you love, the one who had vowed to stand by you, caught in the middle of her family's control and expectations? Over the next few days, Michael struggled with the prenup. It haunted him, gnawing at him, leaving him feeling powerless. Lily had asked him to trust her family. But how could he when he felt like a mere pawn in their game? As the days passed, things grew tense. The couple avoided talking about the prenup, but Michael's resentment festered. He felt more and more like he was being controlled, manipulated. His fears only grew as Lily's family continued to pull strings, painting him as the outsider who could never belong. But what Michael didn't know was that this wasn't just about the prenup. No, there was a much deeper secret buried within. Lily's family. A secret that would change everything. That one evening, Michael sat in the living room, feeling completely drained. It had been a week since he'd signed the prenup, but the pressure was suffocating. He could no longer ignore the unsettling feeling that there was something more to Lily's family than he had been told. And then, as if the universe had finally decided it was time to intervene, Lily walked into the room with a letter in her hand, her face pale. "Michael, there's something you need to know," she said, her voice trembling. "You don't understand what's at stake here." He raised an eyebrow, confused. "What do you mean?" Lily hesitated before sitting next to him. "My grandfather, he was involved in something big, something that no one talks about. He left behind more than just wealth." Michael's heart raced as Lily continued, revealing a staggering secret. Her grandfather, a man who had been shrouded in mystery for years, had hidden away a fortune, $3.5 billion to be exact. And that fortune wasn't meant to go to Lily's family alone. It's been in a trust for years, Michael. My mom. She's been keeping it from you. She didn't want you to know because... Lily trailed off, her eyes filling with tears. "Because she thought you'd only be in it for the money." Michael's world spun. The prenup wasn't just about protecting Lily's inheritance. It was about controlling access to a fortune that could change everything. But that wasn't the real shock. The real shock was realizing that Lily's family had never truly trusted him. He wasn't just marrying their daughter. He was marrying into a complex web of power and control that he had never anticipated. In the midst of this revelation, Michael was faced with a decision. He could walk away. He could break things off with Lily, saving himself from this toxic environment. Or he could choose to stay, knowing full well that the road ahead would be long and filled with challenges. But then something happened. As Michael sat there, processing everything Lily had just shared, he realized something profound. No matter how much wealth or power her family held, it didn't change the love they shared. And love, he knew, was stronger than any amount of money. Lily, seeing the storm in his eyes, reached for his hand, squeezing it tightly. "Michael," she said softly, "I want you to know something. You're not just a part of my life. You are my life. I don't care about the money. I care about you. I care about us." Her words hit him like a wave of clarity, washing away all the doubts that had clouded his mind. This wasn't just about a prenup or a fortune. It was about trust. It was about two people choosing each other despite the chaos around them. And in that moment, Michael realized the power of kindness. The way Lily's belief in him, in their love, gave him hope. It was the kind of kindness that could shatter even the deepest fears and doubts. Michael knew the road ahead would be difficult. He couldn't undo the hurt caused by the prenup or the tension with Lily's family. But he made a decision. He wasn't going to let money, power, or manipulation dictate his future. And neither was Lily. Together, they sat down with Margaret, not as adversaries, but as a family. Michael spoke from his heart, telling her how much he loved her daughter and how much he wanted to build a future with her, free from the constraints of fear and control. It was a hard conversation, one that forced them all to confront their deepest insecurities, but it was a necessary one. And in the end, something unexpected happened. Margaret, realizing the depth of Michael's commitment to Lily, softened. She agreed to rewrite the prenup, ensuring that both Michael and Lily's futures would be secure, not just financially, but emotionally. As Michael and Lily walked away from the meeting, hand in hand, they both felt a sense of relief and hope. They had faced adversity, but they had done it together, with love, kindness, and a belief that no obstacle was too great if they stood by each other. And now, we ask you, dear viewer, can you imagine being in their shoes? Can you imagine the strength it takes to choose kindness over fear, hope over doubt? If you believe in the power of love and kindness, leave a comment below and share your own story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch our next video, where we explore more incredible stories of transformation and hope. Until next time, keep believing in the power of kindness.